This season has been humbling in more ways than one. Trading has a way of exposing impatience, pride, and fear. For me, my faith has been grounding me, reminding me that growth takes time and discipline matters more than results. This journey isn't about making money, it's about who you are becoming along the way. My friends, if you're still in the beginner phase, just like myself, if you haven't passed your first prop firm yet, that does not mean that you and I are failing. It simply means that you are learning. Progress isn't always visible, but that does not mean it's not happening. The most important thing is, are you showing up every day or every week? Are you being consistent? Are you doing things the kingdom way, or are you doing things the way of the world? One thing I'm learning this season is that obedience matters so much more than outcomes. God is more concerned with our character, with who we are becoming, more than he is with our success or even our happiness. Let me be real with you. If you're watching this video expecting me to tell you that I finally passed my very first prop firm and that I am in my beginning phase of becoming profitable, this isn't this video. I'm still a beginner in learning how to trade futures. I'm still learning, and believe it or not, I am still struggling. And if you are a beginner and you feel stuck, frustrated, or left behind, then this video is for you. I decided to make this video because I realized something. Most trading beginner videos are being made by people who are no longer beginners. And while that is helpful, it can be very, very frustrating, as you might feel like something's wrong with you as you are struggling to learn how to trade futures, for example, or as you're learning how to trade stocks or options or whatever it may be. So I am documenting my journey as I live it. I am being completely open, honest, and vulnerable about the entire process because I don't have it all figured out and I don't want to pretend that I do. And guys, make sure you stick around to the very end because I'm going to share with you one of my trades that I took with, I believe it was ES. It could have been gold, from December 15th. You're going to see me trading micros in place of minis and see how I did. So the beginning phase of trading is very, very telling. It's very, very humbling, as it should be, because it really keeps a person down to earth, and it really forces you to emphasize your why. Why are you doing this in the first place? You can study concepts, watch hours of videos, be under the guidance of your mentors and your instructors if you have them, and still struggle to execute when you do come across A+ setups. For me, it hasn't been so much charts. It's been discipline, it's been patience, it's been not giving into my emotions, it's been not operating out of desperation and not over trading. And on top of that, when you add in prop firms and their rules, the pressure feels real. One of the biggest lessons that I'm learning right now is that patience is paramount and not desperation. For those of us who believe in the Lord, for those of us who wait on God, we don't operate from a place of desperation nor scarcity. We operate from a place of faith, okay? God is not oblivious or ignorant to the details and circumstances of my life. Sometimes when it comes to God and his blessings, sometimes they are immediate. Most of the time, if you know scripture, his blessings and his yeses are transitional. They are seasonal. They come in stages. And a lot of times he doesn't give us everything that we want all at once, because if I can't be faithful and content with a little, I'm not going to be faithful and entrusted with so much more. And if success did happen for me overnight, it would probably pollute my heart. It would probably turn me into this egotistic, selfish person who would take a lot for granted, and it would probably lead me away from God and not towards God. right? And God will never give me anything that I will not steward well. He's not going to give me something that I'm not going to be faithful with, something that I'm not going to use for my good and the good of others and to give him glory. That is how God operates in our lives. He is more interested in the long-term goal and not the right here, right now, and the instant gratification. As a beginner, being in a hurry, not having patience, taking more trades, sizing up, it's not going to make you better and it's not going to make you profitable. Patience and consistency will. Okay, another hard lesson has been risk management, but allow me to explain because it's not what you think. So when it comes to risk management, my risks are actually very, very small and very, very tight. If you take a look at my screenshot, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. I have where I drew my trend line, I have my risk, and I have my entry. And so what I mean is, I've only been trading since October, but I've been studying futures for over a year now. And I think the biggest thing is just my confidence. It's really just my confidence and then just trusting the process and being okay with taking a loss. So I am still struggling with taking out or removing my emotions because there are times where I will enter a trade, like my technical analysis, and even with the support of my mentorship, everything will tell me that price action is going to do one thing. And then I get into a trade and price action does the complete opposite, which happens. That does happen. Like, I would be a fool to think otherwise. But sometimes I wish that I would give my wrist just a little bit more breathing room, because sometimes I will jump into a trade with everything telling me that price action is going to do one thing. It's an A plus setup, but I get tagged out really, really quick. And sometimes it's a good thing because price action really does go against what my technical analysis is suggesting. And sometimes what I'm learning is, if I would have given my wrist just a little bit more breathing room, that trade, that A plus setup would have really worked in my favor, and that would have been a huge profit. Okay. And so it's just been like really just building up my confidence, trusting the process, not taking losses personal, and balancing like having a tight wrist, but giving it just a little bit of breathing room. If I give it too much, then it's a huge loss. If I give it, or if it's too tight, then I don't really give myself an opportunity to allow the candle to print, to really see what price action is going to do. Lesson 3, and this one really surprised me, is don't have any profit goals. Don't do it. I used to have profit goals. Like, if I could make $200 every day, 3 days a week, then that would, help me to pass these prop firm accounts within a month. And I would be so consumed and so focused and so obsessed with trying to, make $250 here or $300 there, that I would overtrade. I would chase trades. I would revenge trade. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it really, really, really simple. $50 is a great win. Maybe 150, just really, really humble beginnings or humble re-beginnings. Because when I was first trading, my profits or my trades, I would get about $400 to $600 in one trading session. So the lesson that I'm learning, keep it simple. Take a deep breath, enjoy the holiday season, celebrate others, remember your why, and look to God. Okay? Remember that you've studied, you know the strategy. Just be patient and give yourself some grace. Also, don't be overconfident. And rules matter more than how you feel at the moment. Staying small or having small profits, it isn't weakness. It's not pathetic. It's just staying in the game long enough to survive and to slowly build my account, to slowly, gradually get to that 3,000 so I can pass and become profitable. And you know something? My most confident days, or the days where I'm the most successful, are the days that I wake up and I have zero expectations. I wake up and I'm like, okay, I am going to use this day as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, an opportunity to get 1% better. How can I make $50? How can I control my emotions? How can I, better utilize my risk management? What can I learn from my peachy investor team? And it's those days where I usually come out on top, when I have zero expectations. All right, guys, here's the moment that you have been waiting for. So here you see me. I'm completely exposed, completely vulnerable, no makeup, no fancy glasses or contacts. And I'm just going to walk you through one of my trades. I took this in early December. Most of the content was filmed during the holiday season, and it was a tough holiday season for me because, well, there was a low volume and very few opportunities for me to trade as a flight attendant. But as I've shared with you before, when I started, I actually started with minis because I was very successful in my first month, which was October. And I was about 70 to 75% from passing my very first prop firm, but I blew it. And it had a lot to do with I was trading pre-market, didn't realize the time change because I live in one of the few states that doesn't change times. And I was trading pre-market. Next thing I know, market opens and price action flipped against me and it blew past my stops and blew my accounts. So ever since then, I have been going to micros. So you see, I'm slowly making profit. It's not anything in comparison to what I was making prior, but that's okay. That's not the point, because really, it's about discipline. It's about my attitude, my state of mind, and it really is just being content with humble beginnings and being grateful for something versus nothing. Trusting the process, trusting God in the process, and developing the right habits. So I'm up $40, give or take. And I don't even remember how many I'm trading. I think I'm just trading one micro right now. And so what I should have done was, once I hit $50, which I did, I should have just exited out of the trade, because what I'm learning in my season is even with all the confirmations and with all the technical analysis, what I am learning is just to take scalps. Just to, if I get 50, that's one thing. One of the other things is watching my Heikinashi candles, if I'm saying that correctly. Maybe I can stay in a little bit longer for maybe $75 to $100 in profit. ES has been very, very choppy, very, very moody. I really enjoyed the month of October because I had some big wins. So as you can see, price only pushed up only just so. And I believe I was able to receive a profit of about $25, and that's prior to commissions, before I clearly got stopped out. So lesson learned. Like I said prior, I really should just be focusing on scalping, and when I get to like $50 to get out. Sometimes when I can clearly see that price is going in my favor, maybe $100, maybe $150. But the lesson is just keep it small, keep it simple, and it's paramount to understand that your wins, and especially your losses, they do not define who you are or your success. Keep trying. Not only is my identity not in my success or my profits, but also I'm not going to do this in my own strength. I'm going to do this in God's strength. I'm going to let God be the head of my life. I'm going to seek his kingdom and his righteousness, and then everything else will fall into place. Friends, if you are a beginner like me, and if you want to walk through this journey honestly, then subscribe. I'm not here to pretend. I'm simply here to document. Faith, freedom, and futures. One day, one flight, and one trade at a time. We are building it together, even if we're not there yet. I'll catch you in the friendly skies or in the next video. Thank you all for watching. Please subscribe and stay tuned, because more traveling with trading videos are underway. Remember, As a flight attendant, that's how I pay my bills, but I'm actually a world traveler by heart, and I can't wait to share with you all some of my most amazing adventures and how trading is helping me get back to the things that matter most. Building my future, spending time with those who matter, and doing things that I'm passionate about. See you in the next video.